Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and today we're covering the Endor Escalation bonus tier. This is the battle where you have to use Ewoks against the AT-ST, and it was the original only way to get shards of Wicket. And once you get a 7-star Wicket through the regular first tier of the event, when you got all the shards to get him to 7 stars, the bonus tier unlocks. And originally, this thing was looking like it was going to take most free-to-play people years to complete because of how infrequently the event came around and how many shards you needed to get to 7 stars. There were a couple of people who wailed out and got Wicket to 7 stars very early and took on the bonus tier. And I think at the time, people needed a pretty thoroughly geared team in order to do it. Well, since then, a lot has changed. Wicket has gone into the free-to-play avenues, but the Endor Escalation event is still around. And last time, I was able to complete my 7-star Wicket. So, for the first time today, I was able to take on the bonus tier of the Endor Escalation event. And I took in 2 different teams. I ran it first with my Night Sisters team, which is what I use in Phase 4 of the hard Sith raid. And it's got zAsajj, Gear 12. It's got a decent DACA, I think Gear 11 or 12. It's got a Paper Zombie, and then to Mother Talzin, who's not very well geared, and Talia, also not very well geared at all. And I was able to get through it. I got very close to the end of the 5th wave, had everybody left, could have beaten it, and decided to pull back out and try another team. So if you have a competent Night Sisters team, you can do this. Instead, I tried for something a little bit different. I went with a Trooper team, and I ran this once, and it was all Troopers. Veer's lead, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper, Snow Trooper, and Stark. And I did not complete it the first time I tried it. And the reason is the AT-ST has a really big hit. It's a heavy blaster volley. It's a single target, heavy damage hit, and it ignores armor. And that hit can take out a character in one hit or very close to it. And there's no revive mechanic for the troopers. So if you lose somebody early on, it can kind of snowball and you can get behind, and then you can lose. So I lost somebody early, so I decided to come in at it a different way. So I pulled out Stark and put in Thrawn as the leader. He buffs up the protection for all of the other troopers, makes them a little tankier, and I focused on keeping Shore Troopers taunt up as much as possible to absorb the heavy blaster volley. And Shore Trooper takes a couple of those hits throughout this battle, and they basically take all of his protection. This is a Gear 10 Shore Trooper with some protection mods in there. In one of the waves you can see as I slow down the footage, there was about a 30,000 damage hit that the AT-ST puts out with that heavy blaster volley. So that's the kind of hit that you need to be able to take. If you have tanky characters, you can do that. But the other way to do it, of course, is with a revive mechanic. So taunts are good to soak it up, but you might need a revive either in addition to or in place of. Night Sisters are good because if you lose Zombie, it comes back automatically. But if you lose somebody else, you've got Talzin to do a revive on. So lots of options for the team. There are no restrictions for what you can use for the bonus tier. What I would recommend is you either have a really good, really reliable taunt, or something that can revive a character that gets taken out. Just having a healer might not be enough, because when the protection gets stripped off, taking a 30,000 hit to your health is probably going to kill a character. So unless you're also reviving or regenerating protection, just having a healer probably won't be enough. So keep that in mind. Think about your roster. You definitely need a strong team, but this team does not have my arena mods. I didn't have to do anything special. All I did was pull in Thrawn and my troopers with their own dedicated mod set. I'll have a splash screen that will show the statistics for the troop that I used to complete this event. In terms of the event itself, it is a repeat of the Endor Escalation Battle that you have to fight with the Ewoks. It's just a little bit harder, but it's all the same phases. And if you've gotten to this point, if you're thinking about doing the bonus tier, you've probably already beaten the regular event, so you know the mechanics, you know how it goes, and you're familiar with it. But just in case you're not, a brief summary, it is a 5-wave fight, and it alternates between the ATST and then troopers with the ATST kind of in the background. In waves 1, 3, and 5, you have to take off a chunk, a certain percentage of the ATST's health, and as soon as you do that, you enter the next phase. And so then in waves 2 and 4, the ATST is in the background. It's not targetable. It works kind of like the tank in the tank raid in phase 3, where it sits in the back and it can shoot at you, but you can't shoot it. And the way you advance is you take out all of the troopers that are in play, and then the ATST runs back onto the field for the next wave. So waves 1, 3, and 5 are the more dangerous waves. That's when the ATST will be using that heavy blaster cannon more frequently, and you need to be ready to deal with it. In waves 1 and 3, you can manipulate the ATST a little bit in terms of its turn meter. One of the other great things about having Thrawn here is he can get Fracture, and Fracture helps slow down the ATST and helps limit those big hits. And having Zeta Veers can help you really keep your troopers healthy and buffed up and rolling nicely. So it's a good team. There's a lot of options that you can use to beat this. If you've got G12 Rebels and you just throw a bunch of damage at the thing, that'll probably be fine with Commander Luke lead. Lots of different options, but I wanted to try something a little bit different, push the envelope a little bit, and these Gear 10 troopers, along with the Gear 12 Thrawn leading them, no Zeta on the Thrawn at all, just regular Omegas for him. It was enough to get through this pretty comfortably. Again, once recognizing that the main mechanic you have to watch out for is that heavy blaster volley, that single hit, and I think I took 3 of them throughout the fight, and so you can kind of prepare yourselves for them. Know that mechanic. Maybe you get unlucky and you lose somebody early on, restart, and you might get through it the second time. No penalty for restarting these missions. So that's my run through of the event. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful to you, or what your status is in terms of a 7-star Ewok. The Ewoks are not a faction that I focused on. I have them. They're geared up enough to beat this event, but that's about it right now. Let me know if you use them for something else. Have you found that you've got a sneaky Ewok team that you sneak into territory wars and causes all kind of trouble? Or have you put them on the sideline, or do you have them just geared enough like I do to beat this ATST event whenever it comes around? Either way, they're an interesting team. This is a great event. It's unique. It's so different than most of the other assault battles and all the other things we have going on. Taking on this ATST and then adding in the challenge from the bonus tier was really cool. And the rewards, man, the rewards were great. 2 Zetas and a fleet of 5-dot gold mods. And I think one of them turned out to be a 15-speed crit damage triangle. So a nice haul, definitely something to work towards and motivate you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a comment below, let me know what you thought, and as always, stay tuned to Meat City Gaming for your future Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.